Welcome back to NBA Today and breaking news. The trades have been coming fast and furious this afternoon, and we have another one. Shams, what can you tell us?
Hannah, the Boston Celtics have been searching on the marketplace for a center. They've gotten it. It's the Bulls' Nikola Vucevic. He's going to the Celtics. A second-round pick also going to the Celtics for Anfernee Simons, who's been a scoring machine for Boston, but him, as well as a second-round pick, going to the Bulls. And so the Celtics talk to plenty of teams about centers. Ivica Zubac, Daniel Gafford. The list goes on. They land on Nikola Vucevic, and he's going to provide floor spacing. They just needed a big man there at center as they go and trek toward the playoffs. But for the Bulls now, my phone is flooded with texts about Kobe White or Ayo Dosunmu and what is their future. Because now you've got Jaden Ivey, a young guard coming in. You've got Anfernee Simons, who's a scoring guard coming in. And he adds to a group that already has the Josh Giddey's, the Ayo Dosunmus, the Kobe Whites of the world. So there's going to be some more movement here in Chicago.
Unbelievable stuff, Shams. A busy day for Chicago. Lots of questions there on the horizon. Thank you so much for all of this breaking news today. Shump, what do you think of this just on its face? We'll get into the business part in a sec. You like it?
Oh, I love it. I'm a Josh Giddey guy. You know what I'm saying? I like the way he plays. I think he has an array of moves and finishes that he likes to do, and he's a slasher-type player. We got a ball-dominant guy now that doesn't mind holding on to the ball and waiting to the very end to get us something. And he's young Dame. I see his game, and I see how much time they spent in the gym together. I think it's remarkable that he scores the ball in a similar way that Damian Lillard does, and that's all I feel I'm getting when I get him. You see his one dribble, pound dribble to the step back. He's able to get in there and do the floaters, and he's got height on him. He doesn't have to use a lot of dribbles, but he doesn't mind. I think he's a willing passer. It's hard to find a willing passer in the NBA, and if you can get him the right pick and roll, he's a dangerous guy to bring to a team like that.
Chiney, what about the other side of it, the Celtics?
Oh, yeah. You said it was remarkable. You said the word remarkable. That's what I'm using to describe Boston this year. A lot of people thought this was going to be a gap year. It's turning out to be a very, very solid, a good year for the Boston Celtics. They're third in the East, and now they get a big. That is very important for them, especially if they're going to go up and try to make some noise in the postseason. And with Vooch, he fits that Missoula system, y'all. That guy can shoot. He's shooting, I think, 37% from three. He's big and strong. He's not afraid. He doesn't, really run away from physicality. Look at this right here, knocked down. Joe Mazzulla's like, this could work for me. I can do something with this. This is a good step in the right direction for a team that we thought, they were selling off pieces a couple, after the championship. It was difficult after Jason Tatum's injury. Now you've built back in a way that I'm actually quite surprised at how quick the turnaround has been.
Bobby, your thoughts?
Well, to get something, you got to give up something. I mean, Anfernee Simons had been pretty good with Boston this
really
year.
Good off the bench.
Six-man numbers here, and there was somewhat of I think more of a void for the playoffs because Nemes Queta has been pretty good holding down the fort for Boston right now. But you get an established player in Nikola Vucevic, double expiring contract, so there's some financial savings here. But I think this move is made for more for April and May, less for the rest of the regular
And we still don't know the Tatum of it all, right? He has not decided when and if he's coming back.
So Tatum is an outlier, a major thing we don't know about.
Right.
Vucevic is the type of player that Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis, they won championship with it. Man, Simons was playing great. He just had an incredible January for Chicago. I assume they're making this trade because they intend to pay Anfernee Simons. Just as I made the trade for Jaden Ivey, they intend to pay him. This is, again, pre-agency, and now it is going to open up pre-agency for Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu, who was probably, I would say almost certainly, both of them strongly going to be elsewhere by Thursday, if not by the end of today.
And I'm sorry, Kobe. I'm sorry.
What?
He said he's sorry.
I'm sorry that he got it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
He might be going somewhere getting paid. He may be.
No, he going to play some good babasketball. I'm just sorry I got to part with him.
Yeah. Coining a new term in Webster's
No, it's not a new term.
Pre-agency.
It's a good one.
10 years ago on this date, Steph Curry dropping 51 against the Wizards, 11 of 15 from long range, improving the Warriors to 45-4 on their way to the historic 73 wins. Now, Steph's not in uniform tonight as the Warriors host the Sixers. He has left sciatic nerve irritation. This will be the 12th game he's missed this season due to injuries, averaging just over 27 per game and shooting close to 40% from three-point range. As our senior writer with the Warriors, Anthony Slater, joins us now. What's the state of this team less than 48 hours before the deadline, Slater?
Yeah, on the ground is the injury issues, which you mentioned. It's actually Seth Curry dealing with the sciatica. Steph Curry's dealing with the runner's knee, a kind of persistent issue that they're trying to manage, and that's, giving them trouble trying to win in the moment. But we all know hovering over them is much more important, bigger picture questions. Just there's a general unease because they know, the players know this team is chasing after Giannis Antetokounmpo, and if you're chasing after a big fish like the Warriors are, that either means you have to trade Jimmy Butler or Draymond Green just from salary matching purposes. And the reality is Draymond Green in this current market is a more maneuverable contract. And, a 27.6 team option next season. He's playing. He's available, unlike Jimmy Butler, obviously, who's rehabbing an ACL tear. So, Draymond Green, he means so much to this franchise. But as they try to rearrange the roster and puzzle piece stuff together and get in the Giannis market, the big fish market, the reality is Draymond Green has to come up in those conversations.
Yeah, and thank you so much for the Curry brothers clarification. We appreciate you, as always, Slater. We'll check back in with you shortly. And as we approach this deadline, obviously the biggest question does remain right there in Milwaukee. The Bucks actively engaging in talks for trade scenarios for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Will it happen this week? Will it happen after the season? So many questions. So we go back to Shams. Shams, what more can you tell us about what's going on there?
And Bucks officials, executives, ownership, they're all huddling around the clock on figuring out where they want to play this Giannis situation, either at the deadline or in the offseason. As I reported last week, Giannis Antetokounmpo is ready for his exit from Milwaukee, whether it's at the deadline, in the offseason. So the Bucks have been sifting through aggressive offers from teams like Miami, Golden State, Minnesota, New York. And so a lot of these deals, Warriors has been pick heavy. Minnesota's been player heavy and player centric. And then you have the Heat as kind of a combination of both picks and players. So you have to sift through that. Can anything reach the threshold where you're going to move the two-time MVP? But there's a conflict here in the second half of this Bucks season. They are playing more toward lottery positioning and jockeying than for Giannis's return from a calf strain. So where does that leave him? And he wants to play basketball. He wants to compete for a championship in the second half of the season. This is a Bucks team that's now 11 games under 500. They've plummeted in the Eastern Conference standings. So what's the risk reward doing a deal now versus in the summer when Giannis will be an expiring contract?
Thanks. So much to consider. So many people interested. Shams all over it. Thank you. And earlier today, Jimmy Haslam, who owns the Cleveland Browns, obviously, but also shares majority ownership of the Bucks. He was holding a press conference about football, but was asked about Giannis.
Jason, Giannis is, top 3, top 4 player in the world. He brought Milwaukee its first championship in 50 years, several years ago. And he's a really good person, too. He's no problem. He's a great leader, tries hard. And I think Giannis and the Bucks, and this goes back before we were involved, have always worked closely to see what's best for Giannis and what's best for the Bucks, and we'll continue to do so.
What's the success?
Jason, Giannis is, top 3, top 4 player in the world. He brought Milwaukee its first championship in 50 years, several years ago. And he's a really good person, too. He's no problem. He's a great leader, tries hard. And I think Giannis and the Bucks.
Just in case you didn't hear it the first time.
He's a top. We know he's a top 3 player.
Exactly. In case you didn't hear it, we just want to run it back for y'all. Make sure everybody's paying attention. Wendy, this Bucks ownership situation is really interesting. I wonder how this impacts the Giannis of it all.
Yeah,
can you lay it out for us.
I can understand why people are like, why won't they just do something? And I just want to explain the difficulty that comes with a trade like this, because obviously you have to have the Bucks happy with the return, the team that's offering Giannis, those have to agree. Then because Giannis is a free agent after next season and he has to sign an extension, he's got to kind of be on board. It doesn't have to sign off on it, but you're going to get a better offer if he's on board. Then you've got the Bucks ownership situation. The Bucks have a relatively unique ownership structure. They have 3 owners who all share control. There are 2 owners, Jimmy Haslam and Wes Edens, who share the governorship. And when they have a big decision to make, like trading Giannis, the 3 of them vote. Now, most of the time, over the years where they've had this 3-person panel, they've agreed. But there have been times in the past where they don't agree. And so you have to get ownership on board, Giannis on board, Bucks on board, next team on board. And it's not a simple thing. Right. So that is why I suspect, and others suspect, that getting it done by Thursday is going to take a heroic effort. And I suspect when it does happen, it's going to be the result of a lot of those things having to align.
All right, what would it take to get this deal done? Like, what do you have to give up to make this thing a no-brainer?
Well, I just got flashbacks to my first year in New Jersey. Like, we had a group called the Sea Caucus 7 who couldn't make up their mind.
Exactly.
And that just reminded me exactly of what probably Milwaukee is going through right now. All right, here is your checklist, draft picks. You got to get some draft picks as part of the trade. Golden State's got the 4. We all know that. Miami's got 2. New York and Miami have none. New York and Minnesota have none. Controllable contracts, young players. Me and Brian are at the Clipper game last night. I see a young player in Philadelphia. He's not available, and VJ Edgecombe. That's the type of player that you're looking for, that blue chip prospect. And then the third, expiring contracts or movable salary. So as Anthony said, is it Draymond Green that would be in there that you could potentially move in another deal here? But there is a checklist for Milwaukee, and the big question is going to be, can you get it now, or are you going to have to wait until the offseason?
But what's your dream for him?
Well, the cool thing about Giannis is Giannis plays a style of basketball that I mimic it to having a Kevin Durant on your team. You can't go wrong with no matter what uniform. He plays hard. He's going to do the same things as far as rebound, do a full run out. He can play the point just playing with Jason Kidd. It's all a part of his DNA to play good basketball. It's successful basketball, and you compare him with any other superstar and expect some results. So I don't really mind where he goes. I was just excited when I thought it was the Knicks.
Oh, you were excited when you thought it was the Knicks?
So were they.
I just, you know what I'm saying? I like that.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Chiney, real quick word.
Look, my eyes are on Golden State.
Okay.
The urgency is there. He wants to win, and that would be a huge moment for the power balance of the NBA.
Okay, Bobby.
I will say this, and the expiring contract plays a lot into it, where he's got another year left.
Yep.
If Giannis had 3 or 4 more years left on his contract, there would have been teams like what we just saw with Utah go out and trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. because he has 4 or 5 years left on their contract.